Alright, guys, so we're back. And just before we continue, I want to mention that I'm using the screen recorder called Screencast, which is very useful. Uh, I gain it from the Chrome extensions. Very easy to use, very nice. So, okay, so let's continue. So as I said in the previous tutorial, and also I recommend watching my previous tutorials before continuing on this one, since we are uh, continuing ourselves. Okay, so here we are declaring some variables and initializing them. So let's simplify this. Declaring variables. Declaring variables. And by the way, this is a comment in my previous tutorial. I believe I taught you how to write comments. Now, in more details, I will be covering how to write different kinds of comments in my next tutorial. Yes, in my next tutorial, I will be doing this. For now, let's focus on how to declare and initialize a variable. So let's declare a variable of type string. We discussed data type in my previous tutorial as well. So first we write the type, the data type of the variable string, and then we also note that you need to write it in lowercase. You write it in uppercase, it would be a different type of string. This is also a class. We will discuss that in a later tutorial. Everything green is a class. String data is equal to what we can channel or so here we not only declared the variable, we also initialized it. And initialize it, but we can do it in the simple way. We can directly just declare it. Declare variable string my data. So now we just declared the variable, but we can re-initialize that variable without mentioning the data type next time. So let's see, my data in IntelliSense directly gave me the uh, name of the variable right here, which is very useful. I can directly press tab on my computer, on my keyboard, and I would and that then that name will be written by itself. My data is equal to uh, let, let's say hello world. This is initializing a variable. Initializing a variable. So when we initialize a variable, we don't need to input the data type again. So far we've been declaring and initializing the variable in one line itself, which is quite complicated when you are starting up. But uh, for starters, you can directly just declare the variable and then you initialize it, just like I did in these two lines of code. This this said uh, you can't actually have a variable of type string and you declare a number in it. This would not work. You see, it's already saying cannot implicitly convert an int to a string. The value inputted is a integer and it is inputted to the string type variable my data. So you can't do that. Another thing is that once I have hello world here and then I want to change it to something else. This is something I haven't yet experienced yet, so let's try. This is something new. This is something new. Now, I, I have not taught you this as well in the way that I'm teaching you now. We can use a message box that show event in which you would include directly the variable name that you have. So for example, I take my data, I paste it here, and since it's a string type data, I have no errors. In case this was a int, let's say int a, I input this here, I would have an error because let's build the solution. I will explain you how to what builds and clean as well as other concerning things mean in another tutorial. Okay, we built a solution and we got an error. Cannot convert from int to string. Overloaded method match for this method doesn't have a type of string. We will discuss methods as well as overloaded method in another tutorial, perhaps in two tutorials after this tutorial. So we have to input a string type data. We input my data, which is a string. Notice that this is showing in green because it has not used. This has not been used yet. This green underline over under the E alphabet. Okay, so I included the necessary. I rebuild the solution to see if my errors are gone. Yes, they are. There are a few warnings which means which are showing because we haven't used the variables which have been declared in the application. Okay, so I run the application. I click on the button and here I see my message showing up. I see hello world as well, which is from the message box which came from our previous tutorials. Let's comment all this. A quick way to comment a lot of lines is to highlight the code that we want to comment and then press Ctrl on your keyboard, K and C together. You got everything commented. Now if you want to uncomment the same line, you re-highlight the code, you press Control, then you press K and then you press U, and everything is uncommented. Okay, so let's see. I comment everything again. KC, run the program. I got like 18 seconds left. So this is something new, and that's it. You can notice already that hello world did not show up because it's going in a sequential manner. Okay, alright guys, thanks for watching.